Hi, everybody. Richard Chaves here. You know me as Poncho from the movie Predator. I am here with Taboo's Comics and Kicks, brother.
Hola, amigos. Welcome to another great, exciting episode of Taboo's Comics and Kicks. Okay, so my guest today, man, bro, I just went on a marathon. I was in Hawaii and I watched Predator, Predator 2, Predator 3. I just watched the new Predator, The Badlands. And I gotta say, my guest, it's an honor to have him here. He's an amazing actor, Vietnam vet. The man that I'm talking about is Richard Chaves. Let's make some noise for Richard Chaves.
Oh, man, thank you. Hey, everybody.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Richard Chaves, if you don't know, this man is Poncho in Predator. But before we get into Predator, let's talk about your humble beginnings, because you talked about theater class and the teacher that inspired you, right?
Right, exactly. I started out, my father's Marine. And I grew up in the Marine Corps, traveled all over. He's from Manhattan. My mother's from Roanoke, Virginia. And so I'm a Puertorriqueño,
Nice.
Cherokee Indian, and
Beautiful.
Scottish.
Nice.
And traveled around the country. And, my first inkling was as an altar boy. Okay.
Wow.
And I was an altar boy, and I had my costume.
Yeah.
I had my 3 plays, the High Mass, the regular Mass, and the Stations of the Cross. I had my blocking, and back then, that was the old days when you had to learn your lines, the Latin.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had your props, the bells, and you put out the wine and everything like that. And being up in front of an audience like that, that was the beginning. I didn't realize that until I read an autobiography of Gregory Peck, who was one of my favorite actors. And then into high school, I met a young lady, and God forgive me, but I cannot remember her name. But she went to Occidental College, which is here in Los Angeles. And this was at Mission Viejo High School. My dad was stationed at El Toro Marine Base. And she got me back into the theater there. We did a couple of plays and stuff like that. And in the end of my high school in 69, I graduated from Mission Viejo in 69. She goes, I went to Occidental College, and they have a great theater program there. And they do a summer repertory, and they do it to this day.
In Northeast LA.
Exactly, in Northeast LA.
Yeah, that's where Barack Obama went.
That Barack Obama went there.
Yeah.
And I went there a little bit before him. And God bless Barack Obama. God bless you, brother. So I went and auditioned, okay? And they do 5 plays. And it was like Macbeth, Little Mary Sunshine, HMS Pinafore, Under Milkwood by Dylan Thomas. And that kind of set me up, okay? And I really felt good about it. I auditioned for Hair. And Hair,
Yeah.
I wasn't even 18 years old yet. But I didn't
Musical,
get it.
right? Hair?
The musical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It just started to open at the Aquarius, which was on, I think, Sunset Boulevard by the Pantages, across the street from the Pantages. But anyway, so that was it. I'm going to become an actor, and I'm going to go to Occidental College.
How old were you at this time?
So I was 17.
17, okay.
I was
Teenager,
17.
yeah.
So October the 9th, 1969, I got my draft number. My draft number was 13.
Wow.
Okay? I'm going. I grew up in the Marine Corps. I didn't want to be drafted, and so I went to my dad and I said, Dad, look, I want to join. My dad was Marine Air. So I said, I don't want to be a Marine. I grew up in the Marine Corps. God bless you. I love you.
Yeah.
And he goes, not a problem. Join the Air Force. But I walked into the recruiter's office, and it was the Army guy. Okay. And the Army guy, lion sack of doggy do, he says, the Air Force guy's at lunch. Okay. He'll be back in a little while. Sit down. Would you like a cup of coffee? Right?
He's trying to...
I walked out the door in the Army.
Yeah.
Okay. No regrets. I did a year in Vietnam, 11 Bravo Infantry. Yes, it was tough. Yes, When I got back, I went to my girlfriend's high school reunion, Mission Viejo High School. She was a few years after I graduated in 69. So this was 72. And I wanted to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Taboo. I wanted to talk about it. And so here I am at the graduation ceremony. I'm going, this was this and that. And I went through you're not going to believe it. My best friend came up to me and he goes, Richard, this is supposed to be a celebration. We love you very, very much, but don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear about that. And that continued, and that shut me up. And I went into myself, and I didn't talk about it at all until I made a decision I worked in the post office for a little while in Laguna Beach. I had some other odd jobs, and I went, I want to be an actor. That's what I want to do, no matter what, okay? And so I was going to get married, and to my high school sweetheart, she didn't want to move to Los Angeles. I had already started, I auditioned for the Film Actors Workshop at the Warner Brothers, and I got in. And the Film Actors Workshop was a series of 3-camera, okay, film technique with the old Beta machine. So this is 77. And you learn camera technique, your blocking, the lighting, okay? And also an acting class. And it was on the old, I think they still have it, the Hollywood lot at Warner Brothers. And working at Cafe Figaro's, an eclectic, great restaurant, okay? And so I'm working at Figaro's, I'm studying at Warner Brothers, and there was a young guy, his name was Hillel Wasserman, and he worked for Diamond Artists Agency at that time. And I had already joined, you could join AFTRA, but you had to get a gig in order to do SAG. Okay?
So you could do like a commercial. And get,
yeah. Or you had, if you worked under either SAG or got a gig with SAG, boom, you could get the thing. So Hillel came to me at Cafe Figaro's one night, and he says, Richard, I want you to be at NBC tomorrow at 1:00. And what do you? I'm not going to tell you. Everything is set up. They know you're coming. Be there at 1:00 and make me proud. Okay. And I go, okay. So I go to NBC over here in Burbank, and they have my name. They have my picture. I went in. They told me where to park. I'm going, wow, this is great, man. Yeah. Treat me like a real friggin' actor.
I can get used to this.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, wow. This could be big.
But you had no formal training, though.
Well, no, I had just the training from Film Actors Workshop and my high school and the time that I had spent at Occidental College, you know. And so I get in there, and the front desk, I walk in, and hi, Richard. I'm going, how do they know they know me? Well, you'd send a picture and this
headshot.
Headshot, yeah. So she goes, follow the blue line, and there'll be somebody there, and they'll take care of you. I follow the blue line. Boom. Where am I? I end up at the Tonight Show to play a Mighty Carson art player on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Is this the studio right there off Bob Hope Drive?
It's
in Burbank?
The NBC studio.
Yeah, it's where they used to do like Days of Our Lives and some.
Everything.
Yeah.
I did Days of Our Lives as well.
Oh, you did?
Years later, yeah. And so I walk in, and I'm going, wow, this looks familiar. The big, the back was open, and you could see into the audience, and there's a desk over there. That looks familiar. And a guy comes up and he goes, hi, Richard, how you doing? He goes, now you're going to play a photographer, okay? And it's going to be a scene where Johnny Carson's interviewing his mom. Mm-hmm. That's how I got my SAG card. And so that was really the first big thing. I was on the dating game in 69 and won, but that's a whole other story. So here I am. I got that. I got my SAG card. And a guy named Xander Berkeley came up to me at Cafe Figaro's. He goes, Richard, you're a Vietnam veteran, right? I said, man, I never told you. How do you know? He goes, Richard, you're a veteran. He goes, look, there's a thing in drama like where they're looking for professional actors who are Vietnam veterans to do a play about Vietnam. Okay. I said, thanks, Xander, I'm done. I don't want to do it. Xander tore it out, the thing, wrapped it in some money, And in the heat of the night, he goes, Richard, this was on table 5. Okay. I went home to my little 2-bedroom apartment, $200 a month at Pico and La Brea. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm counting my money. And it was about a quarter of a mile from the helicopter pad for the police department. Son of a biscuit eater, man. I opened it and boom, there it was. At the same time, Taboo. Okay. Helicopter flies over and the light is panning. Okay. And boom. I said, Xander, you son of a biscuit eater, man. Next morning, I got up, picture and resume, a copy of my DD-214, went to the Odyssey Theater and gave it to the conceiver, director, co-author, John DeFusco. And the play is called Tracers. And Tracers is considered one of the very most critically acclaimed plays.
Why does this part of the story make you so emotional? I could tell you were getting a little emotional there. What does that part of the story make you feel that way? Being so long ago.
Because Tracers was the beginning of my healing.
Yeah.
And the beginning of healing for a lot of people. Because, and the beginning of my career. Truly the beginning of my career. But John McTiernan and Jackie Birch saw me in the play when we came back from London with Joseph Papp. We did it at the Public Theater with Joe Papp. Gary Sinise did it in Chicago just before then. But that play and getting together with those guys, and we wrote the play, all veteran actors, all veteran writers. And we wrote the play at the Westwood VA in a cafeteria. That was the only space that we could get for free. And Shad Meshad, who was a great psychiatrist, and he started the outreach centers, got us this space. And we opened at the Odyssey Theater November 11th, Veterans Day, 1980.
Can I interject? Because you brought up a good point of emotion. The fact that he said healing was beautiful, because if you think about what he was saying earlier, they shut down him being able to cope with what he had gone through in Vietnam. Because the guy's like, yo, like, we're celebratory, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't. And so he kind of suppressed that and was like, you know what, okay, cool. But he still hasn't coped with what he went through and expressed it. So the fact that Tracers, is that what it's called? Tracers was a way for him to be in this camaraderie amongst other vets that were looking for some form of coping mechanism. And if that's this play, to be able to share space and have the healing of something that they had gone through, being in Vietnam, not knowing how to cope with it. I feel like that's an important thing, because a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to find ways of unconventional healing. For me, when I was battling cancer, you know, after I did my last round of chemotherapy, I went through so much mental fatigue and just like what I had gone through, the trauma, that I needed to find unconventional healing. And for me is when I went to Standing Rock and I reconnected with my native roots. And I started understanding the beautiful connection with spirituality and listening to the elders and really wanting to fine tune my messaging as a voice advocating for indigenous communities, right? And it was that moment of being in solidarity with all these indigenous people and allies like France Fisher, who came to this beautiful ceremony and this gathering to stand in solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. So I'm glad you said healing, because that's an important factor.
It's really big. And one of, in hindsight, it was an incredibly prideful thing for me. At first, it was an exorcism, okay? And to this day, you know, I'm going through cancer treatment right now.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
Stage what?
I have liver cancer. I also had basal, melanoma, all manifestations of Agent Orange, okay? Tumors and stuff like that. And the VA has saved my life, Taboo, 3 times for sure. When I look back, and having been a part of that healing, not just for me, but for people that after the play would come up and say, and I get really emotional about it. And I still have this PTSD thing. Like I said, I'm embedded with the VA, but people would come up after the show and say, thank you. I really didn't get it until I saw your show, why my dad is the way he is, why my brother, my sister, is the way they are.
So it healed a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It gave clarity to other people of,
Yeah.
you got to tell a great story.
Yeah, I tell you, and it was, and it continued. I mean, we let Gary Sinise, I met for the first time in 1980. Him and his wife, Moira McKenna Harris, came to see the play. And this was before Moira's brother was in Vietnam. And part of the Steppenwolf, big part of the Steppenwolf, the two of them. And this was before Gary was involved with a lot of the veteran stuff. And,
is that how he got involved with Forrest Gump? Wasn't part of that film around Vietnam War too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because he played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, right? Gary Sinise?
And he was, we were an inspiration to a lot of those people. The Tracers experience was, to Full Metal Jacket, to Apocalypse Now. They all saw the play.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking Gary Sinise because you brought him up, and then years later, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks.
Gary's super. Gary and I are close. He visited my American Legion a few years ago in the Palisades, and we're still in contact. He's he and what he is doing for veterans is at the very top of everything. He is a true inspiration.
Is he a
veteran
to me. Too?
No,
oh, okay.
no. But again, part of his beginnings with veterans was because Moira, his wife, her brother was a veteran. And so when they saw Tracers in 1980, I say this very humbly, but with a lot of pride, I believe that was a little bit of the beginning of his, working with and for veterans.
Yeah,
and then,
awesome.
Then we let Gary and the Steppenwolf Company do the play for 12 weeks in Chicago beginning of 84. And they did a wonderful job. I saw the production. To back up just a little bit, it brought me into an entirely different understanding of who I was, who I am, and who I wanted to be doing the play. And I started getting a lot of television work and some wonderful television shows playing veterans, okay?
Can you name some of the shows you were on?
Yeah, 8 is Enough. I played a Marine captain. I was on Hill Street, guest star on Hill Street, Dallas, St. Elsewhere, between 81 and 84.
When did MASH come out?
I interviewed for that doggone show twice.
In my mind, I'm like, I hope he was on MASH.
Oh, man.
I never met anybody.
I interviewed for that doggone show twice.
You did?
Started in the 70s and was done early.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get on it.
Oh, man. They liked me. They saw the play. They saw Tracers, the casting
that song
directors.
was so depressing. Dun, 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 dun,
You wake up at 3 in the morning, the TV
no,
on.
MASH is on.
No, I tell you, I wanted to be on that show so bad.
Man.
But again, I'm so blessed that I got to do so many other television shows over the years. A lot of the top 10 shows, from Miami Vice, to MacGyver's, Walker, Hill Street.
We forget about MacGyver.
That
guy used to build bombs with a Swiss
Star
Army
Trek
knife.
Voyager.
Star Trek Voyager.
L.A. Law, I guess, started on. And a movie called To Heal the Nation about the wall in Washington, and which was a great movie of the week. Fire on the Mountain with Buddy Ebsen and Ron Howard. One of the last things that Ron Howard did an acting thing in. Great. And to work with guys like Buddy Ebsen was incredible. But we let Gary do it in Chicago, and I had just done another Vietnam play called Vietnam Trilogy, which was made into a movie with Don Johnson. Don Johnson I won a Drama Log Award. Don got my part, and I got to play his PTSD problem. And this was before Miami Vice. And I took the money and I hooked up with a Italian princess, out of Villanova in Philadelphia. And she got me an interview to be in Witness.
The movie with Jodie Foster?
Very small part in Witness. Moved to New York. And the next thing I know, I get a call from John DeFusco, the conceiver, director, co-author of Tracers, that Sinise and them, they were trying to take the play to New York.
Right.
but we'd only given them, that period of time, and we wanted it back,
right,
with all veteran casts and everything. So to make a long story short, we met with a guy named Tommy Bird, Vietnam Veterans Ensemble Theater Company, who had an association with Joseph Papp. They were very close, and had been a chauffeur for Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. And got the meeting with Mr. Papp. He had read the play, and I'll tell you a quick story. Mr. Papp came in. We're in his office, okay, the great Joseph Papp. And he comes in, the big cigar. It was me and Tommy Bird and John DeFusco. And he goes, boys, I read 2 plays last night. I read The Normal Heart, about the AIDS epidemic, and your play. It was one of the most devastating evenings of my life. He said, are you amenable to bringing some seasoned Vietnam veteran actors that had worked with them in a couple of plays? Yes, rewrites with some rewrites, and turned to his wife, Mrs. Cohen, or Mrs. Papp, and then there was another gentleman there, Cohen. And the next thing you know, we're auditioning, okay, people for the different parts, and they brought myself and Benny Caristi, and Benny has passed on, and John back from the original cast, and then cast the other parts with the Vietnam veterans from Tommy's ensemble, Vietnam Veteran Ensemble Theater Company, opened in Manhattan at the Public Theater. I don't know. You've been in some heavyweight situations, brother. I've seen your work, and you just, some of the stuff that it's just absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, and but for me to be on stage, okay, in a play that I co-authored about freaking Vietnam, okay, was freaking incredible, man. And then Mr. Papp, the night that we opened, okay, we're waiting for the reviews, okay, and people had said, Mr. Papp never did this before. He, in the foyer, okay, he got up on a chair. See if I can make it through this. He got up on a chair and he said, I have 3 rave reviews. I'm going to read one. And he read the Frank Rich review from the New York Times, okay, the whole thing. And it singled me and Benny Caristi out, and was probably one of the he could destroy.
Of course.
He could close a play at a night, okay? That night, you're gone, bye-bye. And it was a rave review, and the great thing about Tracers is everybody was so kind and receptive, and it's a great play. I'm humbly, I say that. And, because it wasn't just because of me, it was the other guys as well.
Yeah.
The play was written by Benny Caristi, myself, John DeFusco, Eric Emerson, Rick Gallivan, Harry Stevens, and Merlin Marston, with Sheldon Lettich, all Vietnam combat veterans.
Yeah.
Published by Hill and Wang, and published by Dramatist Play Service, and done in colleges and universities to this day.
Wow.
There are productions that are done. You got 6, 7 sweaty guys, right?
Yeah.
Cavorting on stage and telling this story. And we won a lot of awards. Mr. Papp, everything goes to Broadway. We're going to go to Broadway. We were at the time, we were one of the longest running plays. And Mr. Papp came down, the day came, and he goes, boys, I'm not going to send you to Broadway. We go, what? Come on, Joe, what are you talking about? He goes, shh, be quiet, be quiet. He goes, I'm going to send you to London, to the Royal Court Theatre.
International.
If you can I say a bad word?
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Do whatever.
Fuck Broadway, man. We're going to London, baby, to the Royal Court Theatre. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
With a sold-out run.
He said, can I say a bad word? You're a grown man, so you can say whatever you want.
Do your thing, brother. Do your thing. So all that being said, this was the start of your journey as okay, I created this play with these other brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now when do you start getting into movies? Like what you go television shows? What was the first movie that you did besides you said you were a witness,
Ceasefire.
right? Ceasefire.
Yeah, I did Ceasefire at the end of '83,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first movie that I'd done. And then we came back from London. David Bowie came to see the play. Everybody came to, and in New York. I got to say this. So Harvey Keitel, Roland Joffrey, and Robert De Niro came to see the play one night and
Big
came
dogs.
backstage. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just it was unbelievable. Everybody.
Did you guys get a photo together?
No, unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I wish. You see, that was before cell phones, man.
Yeah, but
But they had cameras and stuff like
that.
Did I take a picture with Bowie? I did not.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of pictures from that time period with Kovic and with a lot of other actors that came to see the play. But we come back from London to the Cornet Theater on La Cienega Boulevard for a homecoming. Okay, and my agent at the time, Maggie Henderson Hogan, she said, "Richard, this casting director is coming to see the play tomorrow. You know, do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you've been doing." And it turned out to be Jackie Birch.
Mm.
And so Jackie Birch called me in for Three Amigos to play one of the Latinos.
Mhm.
Okay. And that was the time when we all got in this, and Tony Plana was there.
Oh,
Okay.
shout out Tony Plana.
Tony Plana, man.
Yeah.
I'm going,
Shout out
Tony and I, you know, I'd walk in the door, I go, fuck, Tony
Yeah.
Plana. Hi, Tony. How you doing, man? Good luck, brother. Break a
Yeah.
leg, you know. And I beat him out. He beat me out, but he beat me out for the Three Amigos part. Okay. My saving grace, I made him laugh. I made Chevy and Martin and them
Three
laugh. I made them
Amigos
laugh.
does not get the comedic
I mean,
credit
classic.
it deserves, though.
Classic.
I mean,
movie.
with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and
Chevy Chase,
Chevy
yeah.
Chase.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
it was just, it's such a, that film. I
Are
mean,
you kidding me to
classic.
have those three?
Yeah.
And I got to be in a room with them at Universal, right, when they called me in.
you
And
were
I
supposed to have
finished-
Tony on, right? At some point?
We are.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tony
Plana's
really
iconic.
fantastic human being. And I walked in, and there's Tony, and I go, oh fuck, okay, just you know. But he got the part, and Maggie called me and said, Richard, you didn't get it, and I said, oh, you know, I said it was Tony. Tony was there? I said, yeah, Tony was there. I got a feeling he's going to get it. So she goes, but Jackie called and said, when she called and said you didn't get it, she's going to send the director, okay, to see you in the play. John McTiernan.
Yeah.
McTiernan comes to see the play. And that was it. I get called to 20th Century Fox to Joel Silver's office, okay. McTiernan takes the script out of my hand, okay, and at that time it was called The Hunter. And I got to tell you a quick story,
Go ahead,
but let me tell you this one first. So James Thomas and John Thomas were great guys. At that time, this is a Predator script, which was called The Hunter. Okay, McTiernan takes the script out of my hand. He goes, "Tell me your life story." I told him my life story. He goes, I'm going to be calling you back, and just let Maggie know that you know I really loved your work and stuff.
Nobody's
like that.
attached to the movie yet.
Well, I did run into Jesse.
Ventura.
I did run into Sonny, and I ran into Carl.
You're talking about Jesse Ventura, the wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Jesse the
Jesse.
Body Ventura?
He was in the movie, yeah.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, but it's kind
Governor
of a,
Ventura.
Yeah,
Now he's
Governor
Governor Ventura, yeah.
I was in a movie with two governors.
And
I mean,
Governor Schwarzenegger.
Governor
yeah.
Schwarzenegger. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But who knew?
They should have
right?
called it the Governor.
Yeah. Oh man. So I come back a couple of days later, and they were all there. We were all there, and they brought me in first, and I think that Carl and Bill, God bless. I mean, and we're set for sure. Okay, you can't pass Carl and Bill.
I mean, Apollo
Ever.
Creed and Car Wash.
Are you kidding me, man? So Jackie brings me in, and there's Joel Silver, there's McTiernan, there's John Davis, Larry Gordon, and Arnold. Okay, and this is how it happened. And I'm going, man, I got to read something. I got to do backflips. I'm going to have to hang from the ceiling or prove myself in some way, right? No. Silver goes, Richard, what do you think of the part? I said, it's a great part. Are you kidding me? I said, you're going to need somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing. You know I'm a combat veteran. Yes. He looks around the room, looks at Davis and Arnold, and I'd shaken everybody's hand. And he looks at McTiernan and he goes, is Richard who you want for Poncho? And McTiernan goes, yeah. And he looks at everybody else and everybody's giving them a nod. And I'm sitting there going, and this doesn't happen very often, okay? And I don't think it even happens today where you're in the room with these heavyweight people and they give you the thumbs up all around. And Joel says to Jackie, set Richard for Poncho. I'm going, fuck.
Exactly.
Is Arnold at this time? Is he already like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the action star?
Oh, yeah. He'd done Terminator,
Terminator,
and
Commando.
Conan.
So he'd already done all those at this point.
Oh, he was pretty humongous at that time.
Yeah.
And Carl. You know,
Carl did Apollo Creed.
Yeah, he'd already done Rocky.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, thank you, man. And Jackie comes up behind me. Okay, she puts her hand over my mouth. Come on, Richard, let's go.
Yeah, you talk yourself back down the role.
Exactly. Don't talk yourself out of it. And so that was how it broke down. I get a call the next morning from Maggie, my agent. She goes, Richard, Arnold would like you to be at the gym tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I said, what? Okay. I mean, I was in really good shape. I think for my age now, I'm in pretty good shape. But so for about 2 months before we even started filming, the gym, every day except Sunday, all of us, okay? And worked out, and I went from like 100, I'm about 165 pounds normally, okay? I went up to 180.
Muscle?
Yeah. When I went to see Maggie Henderson after about 3 or 4 weeks, I hadn't seen her in about a month or so, my agent. I walked in there with my t-shirt, okay? And I was bulging. I mean, my breasts were gigantic. My biceps were, I was humongous,
You're working out with
man.
Mr. Universe.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. And they did the whole program. They set, and Sven-Ole Thornton, who at that time was Arnold's right-hand man, he made a complete workout program, lower one day, upper next day, abdominals every day, and had breakfast every morning. So we solidified as a team really in the gym.
Circle back real quick.
Yes, sir.
This script came essentially from you not getting the role in Three Amigos, right?
Yes.
It kind of indirectly.
Exactly. Jackie saw me in the play and brought me in for 3, but then she was casting Hunter.
So it worked out for you.
Yeah.
It worked out for you.
Here. I love you, Tony. Bye-bye. Yeah. God bless you. Have fun in New Mexico or wherever you're going to ride on a horse.
Exactly.
Where'd you guys film Predator?
We filmed in Puerto Vallarta for about 3.5, almost 4 months. And
what a life.
I know, not too bad. Huh?
Yeah, 4
the jungle of Puerto Vallarta.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
The Camino Real Hotel, that was great. But in the bush, in the jungla, oh, man.
Okay.
People and this was no CG, brother.
Yeah.
No studio shit. This was all real. Explosions, bugs, snakes, ticks, every imaginable insect you could think of, okay? And I was in Vietnam, and I saw some shit, okay, bugs and stuff like that, environment, but it was as equal. Jesse and I are sitting on a ridge line, okay, decked out, ready to go film a scene. On this side of the ridge line, and there's a hollow, okay, where all the cameras, and it was in the summer, so they had a complete nursery there with water tanks, okay? So there were watering and planting, so it looked a little bit more jungly and okay. And Jesse and I, we were talking about Vietnam and what was happening in Vietnam, and all of a sudden Jesse, he looks behind me and I look behind me, and then we look at each other and Jesse goes, God damn, Richard, thank God for this side of the fucking picture, or we'd be back in the Nam. I'm going, holy shit. A lot of deja vu, okay? moments like that, especially during the explosions and everything, and then being in the helicopters and stuff. There was a lot of deja vu.
Was that your guy, Jesse? Did you connect with him the most?
With Jesse, I connected with probably the most.
Right.
Okay. Until he wrote his book, I Ain't Got Time to Bleed. Okay, brother. And I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him since, but I've told this story.
Yeah.
And him and I have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. So he becomes governor. He puts out this book, I Ain't Got Time to Bleed. He names all the other actors. Okay. He names the prop guy, the costume guy, the catering people. Okay.
But didn't name you.
He didn't name Richard Chaves. You sly woodpecker head.
That's funny.
Man, but God bless him. You know, I have a lot of respect for him, especially becoming the governor of a state. Are you kidding me? I couldn't come close to that. You give me a job to do, and I'll get it done for you. Okay, I can fix just about anything, but I don't want to be in charge. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that kind of guy.
So you guys go to Puerto Vallarta and you guys are in the jungle.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like? You guys are, okay, you're going to go into filming the movie. What was that process like?
Well, the process was, number one, real. Okay. Very, very real. There was no CG. There was none of that. It was no studio stuff. Okay. It was all in the jungla every day. The only things that were CG were when the Predator cloned and when they did the infrared. And there was one shot that was in like a studio. We filmed it in the gymnasium of the high school in Puerto Vallarta where we were inside the chopper. Okay. But we were coming in and out of the chopper for real. Okay. At a number of other times. Okay.
And that hat was part of the chopper?
This hat right here. They're looking for Arnold wanted to, excuse me.
Yeah,
they're looking for a hat. This is my hat. Okay. And I wore this hat.
You were initially wearing that in the film? Or
no.
It's just your hat
in real life. In real life,
yeah.
I found this at a place in downtown. Okay. And I really liked it. And it was a golfing hat. Okay. So I got the hat and I kind of abbreviated it and stuff like that. And they're looking for a hat for Arnold to wear when he comes out of the chopper, okay? And they were looking all over the place, and they're going, yeah. And I said, come on, let's go. And the light was going. This was the beginning where we come in on the chopper.
Yes.
The tide was coming up. They had built these pods for the choppers to land on, and they're looking for a freaking hat.
And it's like,
okay? I said, well, Jesus Christ, let him wear this hat, okay? And he wore it, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I confiscated it and kept it. And then I wore it for a long, long time. And it's got kind of raggedy, but that's the hat that when in the chopper and he comes out of the chopper.
Is that when he doesn't say, get in the chopper, right? Oh, that was later on in the film.
That was later on. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Yeah, that's classic.
Of course, I'm laying there, okay. You know, I got hit by the log. She hits me in the head with this tree stump. In my mind, okay, Poncho is walking around down there, brother. He's still down there, and they're going to bring his ass back. I hope it would be great.
Yeah.
But you know, as Joel Silver told me one time, I was guest starring on L.A. Law at 20th Century Fox, and they were filming Predator 2 in a soundstage across the street. So I went over and I saw the Thomas brothers, who was talking to them. And, I said, God, man, wouldn't it be great if maybe I could be in Predator 2, like a bum, be a bum with a beard and stuff, and the camera pans by and everybody goes, whoa,
Yeah.
Just a little something
cameo,
like that.
huh?
And Joel Silver walks in, okay? And he goes, hey, Richard, how you doing? I said, I'm doing L.A. Law, and we were just talking to the Tom, and maybe I could be in Predator 2, and he goes, Richard, you're dead. Okay. You died. You're not coming back. Okay. Yeah. No way. That's it. And walked away. I go, well, that's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about your characters? You were the only one that spoke Spanish to the girl. That was awesome. I love that scene.
Little Pedia.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Let's talk about these artifacts, not artifacts,
cool.
but like pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So this knife is from what?
This knife I wore in the movie. This knife was made by Jack Crane, the famous knife maker who made all the knives for Roadhouse and anything that Joel did. Jack Crane, and it's got his signature on it.
Oh, nice.
Jack Crane. So I wore this knife. I had at one time the big knife that Arnold had.
Oh, Arnold, yeah.
Yeah, the bigger knife. I put it up for auction for a charity, and but I kept this one. And then I have a couple of Jack Crane. He's not with us anymore, but he was one of the great knife-edged weapons maker. He made a tomahawk and another edged weapon for me for War of the Worlds, the TV show that I did where I played Native American, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Ironhorse, which is a great experience. But Jack was a great guy, and I wore this knife in Predator, and I still have some of the fake blood on it, man. Ooh, that was really cool. And then I have, so I just got these, again, I walked away from the business for a long time, very happy, and started a handyman business in Pacific Palisades and Malibu. And worked for a lot of my clients who were in the movie business. And Horace Silver is my adoptive father.
Yep.
And God, I miss him. He was a great, great man, the great jazz pianist, musician, composer. There are certain people in the world that make you a better person. And Horace Silver was for me one of those men,
right?
So I did this handyman business, and because I can fix just about anything. I'm really good at doing handyman work. And I said, boy, I'm done. Thank you, God. God has blessed me so much. And that was about the time when the business was really starting to get a little bit more difficult. You weren't going on auditions. You were doing, and the computers and stuff like that
were happening. It was more virtual.
Yeah. And so I thought, great. God has blessed me. I've made it in all three venues, the theater, television, and film. I was doing really well, and I worked with Francis Fisher. I took care of Francis's house for a long time. Okay. And Francis and I had met in Manhattan when I was doing Tracers at the Public, and she was doing Fool for Love, the Sam Shepard play. And so I worked for Francis, blah, blah, blah. And so they've been threatening to show Predator at my American Legion, which I'm a member of 36 years in the Palisades. And so I said, well, show the damn thing already, okay? And so a couple of years ago, they showed it, okay? I thought a few people, okay, would show up, okay? Like almost 350 people showed up.
That's great.
And they brought all their stuff because I hadn't been signing stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And they showed up, and I brought, some of the things, a few of the things that I have here. And it was a great night. And that was the night that James, my manager, James Wade, came. And he comes up to me afterwards, and I was signing because I hadn't signed anything for a long time. And he goes up and he goes, Richard, I'd like to talk to you about representing you. And the next thing you know, I'm in the car with him, and we're driving down to San Diego Comic-Con. Oh man, brother, I didn't get out of the car. Okay. I got out of the car, and from behind, I hear this, you're hit, you're bleeding, man. And some of my other lines, okay? Yeah. I can make it, right? I had some great lines in that movie. I really did. And barely got inside, okay? And it was asshole to belly button. And people were just coming at me left and right, okay? And so on the drive home, he goes, I want to represent you and, book you into some conventions and stuff. And, I'd come off a couple of medical things, because of Agent Orange. I've gone through a lot of, I've had cancer. and I have it now. But the VA is really taking care of me. God bless you for making it through that, brother.
Yes,
I
sir.
know. Next thing you know, I love you, baby. I love you, James. I'm doing these conventions. Next thing you know, I'm doing them with Bill Duke. And Bill and I are teaming up and going to, conventions and making a lot of people happy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I kind of went off on a tangent, but, when you come close like that, and I did, I had to have, I went through a process of cancer, not chemo, but radiation in June.
Yeah.
Okay. And so far, so good. Okay. And so I am so freaking blessed. And I felt that way, okay, for so many years, having, gone through what I went through in Vietnam, and then to be blessed, okay, to work in the industry and to begin that work, okay, through Tracers, the Vietnam play. And as a Vietnam veteran, I played so many different veteran parts and military roles, which also, and Native American, I've got
part of you, Puerto Riqueño and Cherokee, right?
Yeah, Cherokee.
Yeah.
And, The Gambler 3 was great, was a great experience. And War of the Worlds, Lieutenant Colonel Iron Horse, Star Trek Voyager. I had a wonderful, wonderful part in Star Trek Voyager. And all of them warriors, which was also an incredible experience. And, everybody would tell me in the beginning, oh, you're a leading man. You're a leading man. You're this, you're that, but in my career, I played so many different parts. And a Turkish army lieutenant, Native American parts, military parts, a Peruvian guerrilla fighter, some great character actors. And for me, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Being part of a great team, huh?
You're here. I mean, are you kidding me? And to express my ethnicity in so many different ways is a blessing.
Exactly.
True blessing, brother.
Have you thought about any future projects?
I did a movie with Sean Kanan where I played a military role. And then I did another movie, my very first horror movie. Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. My first horror movie.
Oh, buddy. And I get viciously killed by this monster guy. So, I've done a couple of things so far this year because I completely walked away.
You disconnected from it, yeah.
Yeah, I said, God bless you. I'm blessed, man. And the Predator thing, it's just phenomenal, okay? So I said, that's it. But now I've done a couple of movies, one with Sean Kanan and another one with a veterans group, an all veteran cast, mostly veteran cast, an intrigue movie, and I can't remember the freaking name of it. This was just Body Man, and which was produced by veterans. Okay,
that'll come out next year.
It's going to come out pretty soon. It'll probably be next year.
Okay,
next year.
We'll look out for that. For sure.
Oh man, I'm available. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm available now. And after I'd gone through this, physical thing in the VA again for the third time, has put me together. I'm back. And for 70, how old am I? 74. Holy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It just hit me again, brother. Not too bad.
No, not too bad, man. You're looking great, man.
I feel good too.
I want to, first of all, say thank you for your time. And I know that, there's many things that you have in store. I personally would love to see, you and Bill Duke on stage more because you guys are icons, man. You guys,
and we're doing it. We're definitely going to be doing conventions and appearances next year. No question about it.
I'm actually going to be at Comic-Con next year. I'm going to be at Comic-Con next year. I'm going to do my podcast from Comic-Con.
We got to try and do that. If you're doing it, if I'm invited or not, I would love to come, and if I can get Bill.
Yeah, that would be great.
Bill is going to get the Hollywood Star. It's already been approved. It's already been, you got to pay for those things.
Yeah, of course.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
And
you gotta pay for it. Pay to play.
You got to pay to play, man. And but I'm so happy for Bill. And one of the, I got reconnecting with him because him and I were like disconnected for a number of years. Okay, but and James, my manager, James Wade, got that back together again, and then for us to appear together. We made a lot of appearances over the last 2 years at the conventions and stuff like that, and to associate with him is, what he says to me, and fills my heart from the bottom to the top. He always says, "My brother from another mother." Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
That's beautiful.
Man, are you kidding me?
Beautiful. Well, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud to have you on the show. I can't wait to see what you have next. It's been a great journey for you. I love that you're an advocate for survivorship with cancer and all the stuff that you do to advocate for vets. Mm-hmm. So I want to say thank you, man. Bottom of my heart.
God bless you, brother.
God bless
you too.
Appreciate
it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Chaves. That's right, y'all. It's Taboo Nawasha, and I hope you enjoyed geeking out with me and going straight into geek mode. For more information, for more videos, subscribe, like, and comment. Share it with your friends. Much love. There it is.